What is Fibonacci? Fibonacci series, what we call, is a series invented by a mathematician called Leonardo Fibonacci in the 12th century. Like it's like so old, and it's so powerful and magical. So what is Fibonacci series all about? The Fibonacci series is like starting with 0. The first number in the numbers is 0, and then we have 1. So 0 plus 1 is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. Like adding two subsequent numbers, we get those series of numbers. So if you start from 0, 1 plus 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5, 5 plus 3, 8, 8 plus 5, 13, and like 21, 34, 34, 55, 89, 144. All this is called as Fibonacci series. And once we have this Fibonacci series, what is so magical about Fibonacci series is that each number, when you divide with the other number, you get something called as 0.61 ratio, which is a golden ratio. Now, what is this golden ratio? Golden ratio is a point of equilibrium. Now, equilibrium means, why it is called golden ratio? Because it is applied to everything in the universe, everything. How it is used in stock market, that also we'll see today. Now, universe means what? You talk about planets, you talk about plants, animals, human body. Everything is ruled by this golden ratio of 61%. And now, just to give you one example, like we have our hand where there is an elbow, and this elbow is like at 61% of the hand from the top of the finger, tip of the finger to the elbow. That means this gives us equilibrium, right? This is 61%. So if this part is 61%, then that behind part would be 38%. And similarly, in your body, you have navel. At the point of navel to the tip of the toe is 61%. Above is 38%. So this 38% and 61% joined together becomes 1. And that works also in the market. And how it works, because once you have an uptrend, like for example, let's now show you the chart. Let's look at something called as, let's look at Nifty now. Now, if you look at this one, market never goes something like straight line like this, right? So it goes in ups and downs. What is that up and down? Called as retracement. So this goes up, then it comes down, then it goes up, then it comes down, and then it goes up. So this point is called retracement. This is the main trend, and this is the counter trend. Main trend, counter trend, main trend, and maybe a counter trend. So what is this counter trend called as retracements? This is retracing the previous territory. Now, how do we measure this, that where it will come, whether it will stop here or it will stop here or it will stop here? And to measure the retracement, we have this something called as Fibonacci ratios. And this Fibonacci ratios, which we get from the Fibonacci number series, is what we are going to use for Fibonacci retracement. And every tool or a software or a website on charts will have Fibonacci ratios as one of the tool. So let's understand, this is, I say Fibonacci, and in that I want to use 38, 0.5, 0.618. So these are the three I'm going to use. Normally we use this one, this 3 If you want to make a note, the one button which is on, 0.38, 0.5, and 0.618. These are the three ratios we use normally. There are some advanced ratios also, some different ratios also, but right now we start with the basic one. So what is this 0.38 and all this is going to give us? It will give us supports and resistance. It will give us supports in an uptrend, and it will give us support resistance in a downtrend. So let me just show you that this particular is an uptrend. Let me first again draw this. This is an uptrend, and this is a retracement. So let me see how much it retraced, 38%, 50%, or 61%. So if you see this retraced 38%. So it went up and came down by 38%. Now, this is automatically calculated by the tool. So 0, that 9,960 and 10,940, 25%. Now, I don't want 25%, so let's remove that. We only use 3 of them. And let's put it as default. Okay, so now we have these three lines. Can you see that? 38, 50, and 61%. So if it took support on 50%, now if we look at the second retracement, now this was an upward trend and lower, it provided us such a support. Now let me show you something like this, a weekly chart. And this is an uptrend. And in that we have this retracement and this retracement. So let's put this, how do I measure the retracements? And if you see this, it went up and it retraced 50% and then bounced. So that's whether 60% or 50% is healthy or not, that I'll come to that later. First, understand the construction of retracements. And now this is another one which retraced only 38%. Do you see that? Now tell me one thing. Now let's just think about it. This uptrend went up and retraced 50%. And this uptrend went up and retraced 38%. That means in this case, the bulls are very strong and the bears are weak because they could not take more than 38% from the bulls. And in this trend, which was the start of an uptrend, bulls took 50% of the trend. That means this trend was relatively weaker than this one, which is relatively stronger because it only retraced 38% and again started moving up in the upward direction. So this is very, very powerful. This is something very unique and most people use it, and 61%, 50%, especially on Nifty, works like magic on supports and resistance.